NFP, baby! Let's go! Yes, sir. All right, what's happening, G's? Hope you guys are doing well on a beautiful Friday, heading into the weekly closure. Specifically talking about the NFP, baby. Let's go. Looking forward to today. We're gonna talk about it. We have 11 minutes for the news here. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the news, the projection, the forecast, how this could impact the dollar, how this could impact gold potentially as well. Is there going to be manipulation today? Most likely. We're going to talk about that. We're going to make sure that you guys are updated before the news. We have 11 minutes left, so we're going to speed up the process a little bit. But I still want to say hi to you guys. Let's go. As always, smash the like button. Let's get the party started here. Philip, what's up, Lorenzo? Is gold in correlation with dollar? Yes, sir, at the moment. ADC, or good afternoon, my friend Juan. Good to see you, Grim Reaper, and Sako, Max, Blanket, Urace, Max, Official Gaming Man, Volatile Johnny. There we go, there we go, there we go. My man Mike is in the building, Maria is in the building, and Christian. The VIP is here. The VIP is live. All right. Beautiful. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's not waste any more of our timing. We have 10 minutes left, so we want to just be updated completely here. Okay, let's right away go into the statistics first. And that is the NFP, right? This is where we all have been waiting for this whole week. We have been ranging, as you guys can see here on gold on the higher time frame. On the weekly, looks still very good, right? Looks still very strong on the daily as well here. But there is a but. On the 4 hour, we start to, we have been consolidating for a while right now, right? We have been kind of in this range here. We held above the daily support. We're now still in that overall range here, okay? That's one layer. Now, secondary, let's talk about the actual outcome here, the forecast itself, the NFP itself right there, okay? The forecast projects 164, all right? That is significantly higher than before. So the forecast is set up as potentially positive for gold due to the potential stronger labor market, right? That's what we're kind of looking for, right? That's the expectation. They expect a little bit more of a stronger labor market, right? Which could then lead towards higher consumer spending. Very important stuff. But you guys know how the forecast works. It's a forecast. It's not a certainty. So even if you come out lower than the forecast, it is potentially seen for speculators as worse than expected and therefore worse for the dollar, all right? In the short term. Yeah, if it's higher than the previous, of course, there is an increase, all right? It could suggest a stronger labor market, okay? If it's actually lower, much lower, it suggests a significant weaker growth, and that's not good for the dollar, and that should be very good for gold. The correlation between the dollar and gold is pretty straightforward at this particular moment, pretty accurate. The negative correlation has been pretty accurate so far, but there is a but. There are a couple things that we have to take in consideration right now. So yes, if this implies a stronger expectation, which could then imply a bullish, outcome for the dollar at the end of the day, we don't know if that's going to be the case, but if that's the projection, all right, and we look at the dollar itself, and the dollar now is in that daily demand, right? We reached that daily area on the month right here on the daily time frame. We tapped into this low and we're kind of bouncing from it, okay? As you guys can see, we came down, we created a higher high, and now we're looking potentially at a higher low formation for the dollar. If that's the case, the question is, are we going to hold here? Are we going to hold in this daily support right now at the moment? And is this bounce that we're currently seeing on the lower time frame, right, this push up, even though it's just a slight push, right, a potential daily candle flip, is that then positive for gold in the short term, right? That's the true question of right now at this particular moment. Okay, so yesterday before the stream we took a trade towards the upside, then we took a trade towards the downside. We closed it beautifully at the Sunday open on futures. We ended up tapping into the opening price of the week, so this is the Sunday open right here. We closed our position there, price came up again, and now it's kind of hovering around here. So the interesting part is, if this is gonna be bullish for the dollar, right, and if this is gonna be projection like based up better for the a higher, what could happen here is that the dollar would hold in this daily demand, and that could mean that the dollar would potentially bounce from this level here. The only thing that we have to take in consideration is that the market also tends to drive on liquidity, right? And if you guys can see here on the 4 hour, we are very, very close to just, taking out the highs here. So the forecast says stronger dollar, weaker gold, if you could expect it from that angle. The chart on gold is telling you something else. The chart on gold itself says, oh, we're looking very strong. We have liquidity here on both sides right now at the moment. So what if guys, we do something like this, a crazy week today where we close aggressively, we pull back down, Sunday open, we push up, we take out the highs, and we still reverse to the downside. We have seen this many times over with the gold in general, where the first move is not particularly the actual move from the NFP. So even though it might be the impulse move, it might not be the end direction for the NFP, right? That's something that we have to take in consideration. Now, if we assume that price would go up, then of course at some point I would be able to think, if the news is positive, are we gonna set up for sells later on, right? If the news is negative and we push up, of course we're not gonna look for sells. If it's positive, we're gonna look for sells when price breaks higher, okay? But you are now in between two different layers here. You have a bunch of liquidity on the upside. The forecast tells you dollar potentially strong, recovery. The dollar is in strong daily support. So if the dollar bounces from daily support, then of course it's not gonna have a good impact on what gold is gonna do here also. So therefore, today I'm not gonna take a trade during the NFP itself. I'm gonna take a trade after the NFP, because you have a conflict of interest. You have the forecasting saying bullish for the dollar, bearish for gold. You have the chart of gold saying a bunch of liquidity still above here that needs to be taken out potentially before looking for that move here. So therefore, if it's going to be a massive move here and the news is positive for the dollar, I will still look for sell opportunities in the market. And I do believe that you're going to see some serious manipulation today because of that conflict of interest right here. Okay, so I'm very curious to see what will happen around the gold chart right now. At the moment, you can see also on the 15-minute that we came down before. Literally 30 minutes ago, we started to come down, right? Sellers started to get into the market. They saw price dropping, and now, we're already starting to reverse bullish right away as well here. So we're practically holding above the 25.13, which is that local support that we currently can see on the 30-minute time frame as well here. Okay, so of course, when you're building up all that liquidity throughout, the whole month of August, and then coming along in the September, then if price is supposed to come down when the outcome of the forecast is bullish and positive, then you still would think, okay, why are they hovering around here? Are they going to swipe the highs? And if they are going to swipe the highs, is that going to be a bearish reversal play? Okay, that's it. I see a lot of buyers. I see a lot of sellers in the chat. I see a lot of mixed conflict. I see also conflict of interest in the chat as well. Nobody truly really knows what the outcome is going to be here. But what I do is I look at the data, I look at the forecast of the data, I look at where the dollar currently is at. We are at support. So the data of the dollar, or the chart of the dollar, aligns with the forecast potentially here, holding that support after coming down for the past, you could say, 64 days, okay, 64 days, internally creating a higher high. We have never done that right here. This is the first time we created a higher high. We are now in higher low territory on the higher time frame. So overall, I would say, and if you simply look at the gold chart right now at the moment, you might think, oh, that's that might be bad for gold here. But at the same time, when this is built up, what about taking that out first? So, conflict of interest, practically trading at an all-time high, around an all-time high range. I would say it's better to wait for this news to occur, to make that first move. We look at the outcome of the data. If the data is positive for the dollar and we hold above that daily demand, I don't see any reason not to look for sells right there, okay? Not to look for sells after. But that all depends on the data. One more time, okay? So let's see what the chat is saying. I'm also looking forward to the chat here. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set up a poll right now quickly. And this is not to do with the news, okay, right now. It's about how we close the day, all right? How do we close the day? So you can vote here. What is your analysis? What have you done? Have you done your homework? You can vote and you can decide up or down quickly, but not in the impulse move. I'm not talking about the impulse move. I'm talking about the end of the day, okay? Very curious to see what the overall sentiment is like here. So yeah, let's make it happen. Let's wait and see what we can do. Also, I keep a close eye on futures, of course, as well. Should be very similar. A little bit more spikes, maybe also in the futures. And we'll figure it out right there, okay? I'm gonna take this to the 5 minute. And there we go. Up, down, up, down. Holy moly. Holy moly, jeez. Look at that move. Damn. Gold doesn't know what to do here. Doesn't know what to do here. Holy moly. Okay, look at the outcome here. Bearish, lower than the forecast. Lower than the forecast at this particular moment. 142. Okay. Gold is holy shit. Still at this at the same place here. It's actually not as effective right now at the moment here. Okay. It is not as effective right now at the moment here. Holy moly. Okay. Most likely are gonna push. We had 328 votes before. Quickly, it was very quick. 60% set down. All right, 60% is down, but you might still gonna be right. Who knows? We're gonna see at the end of the day. That was my question. At the end of the day here. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. All right. I think a lot of buy and sell stops got triggered. If you kept your stop loss very tight, a lot of guys are absolutely crushed here. Absolutely crushed here. Yeah, absolutely crushed. The way it came up and down here. Also, let me quickly look on the 5 minute. There we go. We pushed down. We pushed into the lows and we're pushing up right now at the moment. Okay. Pushing down, pushing up at the moment. Yeah, there was a significant conflict of interest here. Let's see how the dollar has responded. The dollar is going down. Right, the dollar potentially will break this daily low here. And we'll see if we actually break it. But it's definitely an important factor if you do break it. And if you do continue to drive further with the dollar right now at this particular moment. That will be not as good for the dollar, of course. This is going to benefit things like the yen potentially as well. I will check out that in a second. But for now, I think what we can see here is that we have been slightly pushing up a little bit. We have not taken out any single highs yet here. We might drive up though. We might drive up to continue the process if that's the case here. Bearish dollar closure below in 1 hour potentially might lead into continuation and actually going for these highs here. So yeah. I think the trade still comes here. We are swiping the lows, we're swiping the highs. If we pull back and close within the range, man, that will be very nasty, because a lot of guys are impulse buyers when price breaks out. A lot of impulse buyers step in as well here. And I've noticed usually the best opportunities for the NFP come after, especially if you close neutral. The structure will form itself after. Overall though, 142k is indeed significantly lower. So we've seen indeed a bearish outcome here for the NFP. Let me quickly highlight this right there. There we go. So yeah, I'm happy that I didn't take a seltzer. Yesterday we took it up, we took it down, and I was like, I saw it coming down. I was like, should I get into position again before the news? Right now, before the news, already holding my short here. But we saw quickly that we started to come up. So my stop loss was quite quickly on break even. So you guys can see here, I entered the short and then I closed my short on break even. Automatically when price reversed. That was before the news already. Around the New York Open. And that was a good decision. Yeah. Yeah, the importance here is not just the fact that we are bearish now negatively today or this week, or this the NFP released. It has also been the last or the previous NFP. We also came out much lower than expected as well here. So you have both. You have today and you have the previous month, both negative for the in regards to the job creation. So that's not really that fantastic here. But the dollar is recovering slightly. I'm keeping a very close eye on what the dollar is doing here. How do we close this 15-minute? Number one, this 15-minute candle. How we close this? Are we going to close above? Are we going to close below? Is there a chance that we will close above the 25.50 on futures or above the 25.20 on spot? When are you going to trade? I wish I could tell you exactly what time I will take a trade. If I'm going to take a trade, there's always going to be a question if. Lorenzo, when are you going to take a trade? If I had a magic ball, then I would give you a straight up answer right away. But if I would look for an opportunity, it would be after closure, waiting for retracement, showing its real, showing its true potential here. And if it goes, it goes. No control. There was a strong conflict of interest based upon the forecast. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and just gamble. Not gonna sit there and gamble for fun. We have done it before on the stream here, but not today. Not at an all-time high. Dollar is holding up. Dollar is holding up. What's the update on your TopStep account? I mean, yesterday you were there. I haven't traded ever since, so we're still up 4.3k on one. 600 on the other, so 5k. This one got funded around 3 or 4 days ago. All right, dollar is doing its best to hold up here. Italian action. So Lorenzo, open and long. I will host you for a week here. Luxurious, whatever. Many man, thanks. Yeah, let's see how this the candle closes right now. We're getting some pushback already. I'm gonna put the dollar next to it. I want to see what the dollar, how the dollar responds to gold here. Reversed. Reversed. This is where we closed. So this is where we opened the 30-minute candle here. So this is where the NFP opened up. So we can type in NFP news. There we go. Italian expert two scenarios. We either wait for the New York opening or 50-minute post news where hedge funds are preparing for the positioning. Yeah, that's another layer. The bigger move tend to happen also around the US Open. If this is not the bigger move, we might recover. We might still continue to drive. We'll see right now at the moment. We are potentially targeting the highs. We have been looking at these highs for a while here. We have been taking out some of these highs right now, except for the all-time highs. The all-time highs are sitting right there. So let's talk about these highs right here. And after that, it's price discovery. And you know what happens in price discovery? Gold tend to just go and go and go. And that's potentially a new leg up there. So yeah. Whereas gold has to go for all-time high no matter what. We're gonna find out, my friend. We are gonna find out. For now, the dollar is indeed slowing down, but at the same time, we're kind of holding that. If you take this to the 5-minute here, we definitely have that local support right now for the dollar. All right. But Lorenzo, it's worse than the forecast, but better than the previous one. So I think it's good for the dollar. It's always how you can look at it as well. There's a lot of conflicting information between the expectation, the forecast, and the actual outcome. But yeah, anyways, it's slightly better than the previous month. It's still worse than expected. So you never know what the impulse reaction is gonna be in the short term, and that's what we're talking about right now. After the US Open, we will see. Overall, gold was pushing. It's not slowing down. It's already pulling back here. All right, at this particular moment, you can see in a 5-minute time frame, we're really like getting some pushback. This might be a temporary pause. So take that in consideration as well here. Yes, he says may get more sellers to sell than open comms trap. The US open comms gone trap everybody. They can level 25.56. Yeah, the US Open is going to be very, very interesting today. Very, very interesting today. Slowing down already. Silly says, I think I will gamble sell now. So many gamblers, man. So many gamblers in this game. People are also proud to beat gamblers. They're kind of like bragging about it. Like, yo, man, I'm a gambler. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. That's the YouTube game, man. That's the game. That's the Forex game. Yeah, man, that's the game. That's the game. I would love to see the dollar coming up. I would absolutely love to see the dollar pushing up. Absolutely. Would love to. Yeah. Yeah, I would love that. I would love the dollar coming up here because I'm looking at dollar yen swing longs right now also. A dollar yen swing long position. With the right confirmation there, but yes. I'm looking at a swing trade for the dollar yen. So yeah, I hope the dollar will actually come up here. Top step or what did you say? Top step of my FF? I don't know what my FF is. Is that I don't know what my FF is. As far as I can remember, my FF was my Forex funds, but I don't know. I don't know. You know better than you know better than me. You know better than me. If it comes down to a CFD prop, I'm using Funded next. And FTMO, and if it comes down to futures, Yeah, top step indeed, yeah. Top step indeed. Lorenzo, price coming below the previous week very high. Let's look at that, man. Let's do some re-analysis from a purely technical standpoint. Because right now we are indeed at a couple of very interesting key levels here. Let's look at it. Previous week very high is indeed sitting at 25.21, but so far we're holding up very well. So we're still trading above it. As you can see, same thing happened for the previous weekly POC, the previous Sunday open. I think this is where we tapped into. Right now, we kind of came back to the Sunday open. On futures, we tapped into the Sunday open, for sure. For sure. But the only thing, I'm not that impressed right now with what I see here. To be really honest with you, I'm not that impressed what I see for gold at the moment. That initial impulse was very, very good, very strong. We have just seen now our 50-minute closure. I'm not that impressed so far with what gold is doing here, but hey, we might continue to drive. Bonus is why we're looking for swing longs on the dollar with bad NFP numbers. Because I have a lot more fundamental data that I look at. I talked about it yesterday as well. I talked about my breakdown on yesterday. And I also look at the fundamentals of the yen, not just the dollar as well. So yeah, dollar yen, I'm looking for longs. On the higher time frame. On the weekly time frame to be exact. Promises I'm luring in short to take them out. I do believe that that's something that's happening. I think a lot of guys are starting to short now. They see price tanking and then stop losses are right above there. It all depends on the dollar. Now, dollar is doing its best to hold up. I'm very impressed with what the dollar is doing, by the way. Very impressed with what the dollar is doing. Yes, based on the wicks and the 5-minute and the 3-minute, there is a lot of stop loss hunting. Might be a good signal to actually enter a short. What I think is going to happen is that the best trade will occur around the open here. The US open in particular. And if the dollar just decides to tank and just reverse, then I remain bullish on what we're seeing here. So yeah, if gold decides to pull back right as when the hourly closure comes towards the NFP price, the opening price, we have an indecisive candle, and then what happens, and we have seen it so many times before, you close indecisive, you then create structure, and that reverses or results into the real move, either up or down. So yeah, an NFP day is patience required. Yesterday we took multiple trades. We took it up and we took it down. Wanted to take it down, break even. But now it's time to see what's happening around this layer. Right, that trend is still pushing us back. We swipe the highs. We're pulling back towards where we came from. Very interesting. What future chart do you use for gold? GC. GC, my friend. GC. Let's take this whole range internally. Yeah, dollar indecisive. Look at the dollar on 30 minute. Look at gold on the 30 minute. Hey Lorenzo, does Vantage allow crypto deposits and withdrawals? And can you tell me your experience with Vantage? Yes, it does allow crypto withdrawals. Absolutely. It does allow crypto deposits, withdrawals, and yeah, my experience. I mean, yeah, I've been trading for it for now a year and a half. Zero complaints. Zero complaints. Yeah, what I always do, I deposit 6 figures. I first start small, and then you know, once I'm happy, I start depositing more. So I deposited 6 figures, and I instantly withdraw the 6 figures to just see and test it, and then I know over a period of time how reliable they are. When it comes down to trading itself, I've never had any issues. I never had any issues. It depends what kind of account you have. It depends how much money you have to trade with. If you have a smaller amount of money, an STP account is fine. But if you have a bigger amount, it's not going to be fine. You will need an ECN account. And with bigger, I mean more than 5K. Yeah, if it's a new broker, forget about it. Write it off right away. Just don't even think about it. If it's a new broker, let them prove themselves to you first. So only go with brokers that you actually can trust, man. That are like, you know, that are there for you. You know, that have been there for the past what, 5, 10, 15 years. I think minimum, I would say 10 years. I would say 10 years. You see these brokers popping up left and right, and the website looks amazing. Well, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, dollar rejection mode here. Indeed, dollar back at the VWAP. Dollar is indeed getting rejected. Let's look at futures as well. So if this is the pullback, is there a chance of taking a small long position now? Let's see. to retake the highs before the bigger move. Like a quickie, we call that a quickie. When we come up a bit high. So let's see where the dollar is in the middle of the range here. 108.91. This is a major point for the dollar here. The dollar really needs to break through this level, and if there is no momentum and volume, then the dollar is just gonna come and it's gonna die and it's gonna slowly turn around as well. Bill says, what happened to Danvo? Where's my 50K? I don't know, bro. I'm not Danvo, so I can't give you the answer. I cannot give you the right answer. So the idea with gold here is that like people, you know, I'm just trying to go into the top process. So like a lot of guys are now like, oh shit, we're recovering, buy, and oh no, we're gonna come down, sell. So there's a lot of speculation happening within this range here. So what I then think about is just, okay, let one side of the story be extremely wrong. Let's not force or you know, over trade now. Let them get swiped, right? And then we kind of expect the real move happening later on around the opening price, right? The US 30, the US 30, US 30, the US Open. So this is all speculation, all short-term speculation now at the moment. We want to get rid of that. We want to wait patiently for that. Yesterday, you know, when you take a trade to the upside, that was just a really clean probability. The dollar was in rejection in territory, getting rejected from a high. Gold started to drive because that was a strong negative correlation with gold to the dollar. So we took a long, simple. Yesterday we were in a short, practically the whole stream. During the whole stream, we were sitting in a short, waiting for price to do something. And it did came down eventually. We closed at the right moment before it pulled back up immediately. And right now, you're just, you know, this is just where a lot of speculators are stepping in now at the moment. Retail speculators in the short term. And I think when the real volume comes in, like the institutional volume around the US Open, I think that this is where the better trades will come from. So we can try and force a trade into this smaller range now and predict the outcome now, or we observe what the US Open will do. And based upon that, get to a little bit more higher accuracy, if that makes sense. So yeah. Guardiana says, why people talking about Danvo everywhere? Lol. Yeah, man. The thing is, I realized, like what I realized is that, number one, when it comes down to other people's money, you have to be very cautious. But number two, you know, if you fuck up in this game, you get absolutely everyone loves drama, right? There's only a small amount of guys that actually got, you know, that lost some money here. All the people around it are using it for clickbait, are using it for views on their little channel. They're you know, trying to expose it. And there's not like, it's not like there are already 30, 40 videos online now. So you know what? I'm just gonna create the 41st video about Danvo, talking about the exact same shit that everyone else was talking about already. I'm not gonna add any value to it. I'm just gonna copy what that other guy said. It's all garbage, it's all bullshit to me, to be honest. Really, but that's how it goes. People love drama. They love it. They love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, gold coming down. Came up, come down. Like I said, A lot of speculations. Buyers stepping in here, sellers are stepping in here. One of them is going to get stopped up now. I think that the US Open is going to help us tremendously. Okay, push. We're back. We're back. We're back. We are back at the NFP Open, geez. We're back at where we came from. There we go. Back at where we came from. Glacier says gold has been stacking liquidity for the September FOMC. If we don't leave this range, then yes. Then that's definitely what's happening here. But we have been saying that for the past months. We said, oh no, the CPI is going to make that move. And I was like, oh no, it's not going to be the CPI. It's going to be the FOMC statement. No, it's going to be the NFP. It's like we're still in that range. We're still in that range. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, indeed, a lot of things coming here. But next week is the CPI, number one. All right, CPI comes first, so that's very, very interesting. Yeah. But anyways, we're back. We're back at the NFP Open. Like nothing happened. All right, we swiped the lows and we swiped the highs. So if people were still in position, a lot of guys that entered on the NFP are going to be very upset now because they're back at their entry, if not stopped out. So we're back. That's not really a surprise here. So I'm going to do this on the following on the lower time frame, sticking on the lower time frame for now. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. There we go. 20. There we go. Yeah, it's all about structure. So it's all about structure. If you break structure, we break the lows and we create a lower high. I am willing to look for short continuations. That would align fantastically what the dollar is doing. Overall, you can see that the dollar on futures is still very, very indecisive here. Yet on the actual other one, you can see that it's actually looking a little bit better. You can see that the dollar is holding up very well. Very, very, very well at this particular moment right now. So a closure like this on the dollar is actually very good based upon what we can find here. And if that's the case and we create a lower low on gold on the lower time frame, then a lower high is what I would look for. All right, I would look for a lower high. But you know, back at where we came from, if not below where we came from. 30 minutes, we opened at 25.16. No, we opened at 25.16. We're now 25.14. So bye-bye for the initial buyers, hopefully, if they're not on break even or if their stop loss is not below the lows. That's the question as well here. Okay. I am a big fan of what the dollar is doing though. I am a big fan of how the dollar is holding up very well. Has not broken the daily lows. It actually kept in that zone here. We have been bouncing from this right now at the moment. So I actually do like that we didn't, broke the lows before. Just nicely holding up here, both on TVC as well as Capital.com. Same different broker, same outcome. So I do like this. I do like that. I want to make sure that we stay above. So yeah, daily okay, 4 hour. Back at resistance here, 1 hour looking a little bit better. So it's very important to keep a close eye on how the 1 hour, 30-minute moves here for the dollar. And if we climb here, we just look at the lower time frame gold. And that's where I would look for entries potentially. Because we do have a beautiful range. And if this is indeed the reaction that we're seeing now, and we're heading into the US Open, unless it's another manipulation, so unless it's a down, up kind of play, it's very unfortunate. But if we close below here, around the US Open, then I'm gonna look for shorts. That's what I'm gonna do, if that's the case. So any lower high, I'm all in for that. If we close below here. Can we please have a look at the book map to see what it's showing you? We can check it out. We can check it out in a second. Look at the dollar. Dollar is doing its thing. Dollar is really hooking up here. Like I said, I think that the dollar yen has potential, a lot of potential, and it might not look at it from this way. When you look at the weekly time frame, you might think, oh, this looks nasty. But I'm actually I found this range very interesting right here, this low. We talked about the fundamentals before yesterday about potential, non-commercials, looking at longs, improving their long size, their bullishness on the dollar. Whereas retail has never been this bearish in 4 years. So the unreportable reports, it's never been that bearish here. We're now at weekly demand, okay? So I'm very interested to see how we act around here. We came back down. We're reacting from it currently, and yeah, this is weekly demand right here. Right, the yen is starting to slow down again. The yen opened very strong, but right now the weekly, we're getting the pushback once again. We might set up a monthly top wick here. That's what I'm aiming for. Another top wick on a monthly candle for the yen, and just see how that goes. Once we have the internal confirmations, I can use the volume profile. I can use my entry models to scale in, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I'm taking that dollar yen trade potentially very serious on the from a swing trade perspective. What percentage do you risk when swing trading? When swing trading, I risk around, what, 2%, sometimes 3%, sometimes 4%, sometimes 1%. It depends on the confidence I have. And you might think, but that's not much, so swing trading is not for me because it's just not enough money. Well, just think about this. It's not about how much money you have, it's how much consistency you can create for yourself. The more consistent you are, the more capital you will attract. Let's say you become funded and you have a long-term approach. I assume you have a long-term approach and not a short-term mentality. You can get funded on a lower account, smaller account. Your first payout pays you for a bigger account. Why? Because you're consistent. You are able to be consistent. The bigger account results into a bigger funding. You know, make a couple percent a month, and before you know it, you start making 5 figures a month. It's not that difficult. So this is the process that I'm doing now to show that it's possible. And the reason, and I'm seeing guys asking, Lorenzo, why are you trading on Top Step and not with your own private money now? That's also just another reason to show that it's possible on the lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, futures prop. On the higher time frame, for me personally, my own capital and prop firm capital as well. So it has to do mainly with the also credibility layer, right? It's important for my name, for my brand, that I also gain some solid some success within this space, within this niche, the prop firm space as well. A lot of benefits in trading with a prop firm, and also, you know, looking and zooming out a little bit. Okay. So if you think about, I've never heard about any funded prop firms yet. You know, it seems very common for us people that are coming here on a day-to-day basis, but there are a lot of new guys here in the chat as well that don't know what a prop firm is. In essence, what they're doing is they're giving you funding, right? So what they're doing here is they're giving you a certain amount of funding, but you need to pass a challenge here. Now, there are 2 ways to do it. You can take a free trial as well. You don't have to pay for a challenge right away. That's why I recommend Funded Next right now. They have integrated as well the free trial. You can trade with them on TradingView. They're working on some things to update it, so it should be done very soon again. You can trade on TradingView as well, so you don't have to leave the platform. You can take a trial, you can log in, you can connect, and you can buy a challenge here. If you are thinking about buying a challenge and you are a beginner, I recommend you just go for the lowest. It costs you $60, right? It's great practice material, okay? Instead of depositing $100 on your account, and sometimes this might be a little bit better. But the idea is that you want to really start leveraging this once you have the skills, once you have the consistency. That's really what you're looking for, right? That's what you want to see. The consistency and skill set. So if you're interested in getting a challenge, you can now get an 8% discount on that by clicking on the link here and filling in the code limitless8. All right, limitless8 on Funded Next. They put you on a simulated account, right? B-book simulated account here, and you can prove to them that you are trader worthy. There we go, baby. Nice clean move here. We take the whole range, the previous range. That's what I want to see here. We take the previous range also on, let's look at Owanda as well. We take the previous range. Owanda tend to be very accurate. All right. So we're trading below the NFP news. Crazy moves, right? Welcome back. Welcome to the NFP. You swipe the lows, you swipe the highs, you're back, you break the lows. At least almost break the lows. You bet a bunch of stop losses will be sitting there as well. So it is in this range. I'm gonna start looking for sells right now at the moment. If you see the gold pulling back into this range right now, and the dollar holding up very well, it's gonna be interesting. And again, I think the U.S. Open will give us that understanding here. So US Open, baby. Yo, bro. Did you take a good trade today? I haven't traded all day long. Still tearing on the profits from yesterday. Not today. Waiting now for the US Open here to do its thing here. All right. Overall, it came out worse than the expectation, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be worse for the dollar, if that makes sense. That's how forecasts tend to trick you in thinking that it's bad for the dollar. But it came out worse than the forecast, right? Worse than the expectation. Unemployment rate came out equal. So yeah, overall, this lower high is what I'm looking at. Lower high, lower low is what I want to see. Nizar says the 500k next challenge, van het next challenge good. I mean, it's all the same. The 5k, the 10k, 15k, it's all the same. It's all the same. There is no difference. Welcome to the NFP, gentlemen. Welcome to the NFP. I hope you guys are so far either sitting on your hands or you made some money today. Then I'm happy for you, very happy for you. If you lost money, then I'm of course not happy for you. And I hope that it will be taken as a lesson to see what you could have done better if it was you, or if your analysis was on point and you would do this every single time. If that's the case, then keep doing it. If that's not the case, then see where you can improve here. What do you mean by US Open? In the US market, the US Open, correct? Yeah, the US Open, the New York Stock Exchange Open. Right, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. So I want to see push during the open and a rollover again. That's what I want to see. I want to see a push during the open, so a bullish push and then a rollover down. And the reason why I'm looking very closely on the dollar is because I want to know what the dollar is doing. And the dollar is doing its thing. Dollar is holding up like it should at the moment. So yeah, we did came up and now we're pushing down. The question is now, what is this real move gonna do here? When the second wave of volume comes into the market in 4 minutes or 6 minutes, is that gonna be a strong impulse or a slow grind? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But for now, I'm interested in shorting it. But I do expect to push to the upside before or around the open. At least that would actually validate my bias if that's the case. If you directly push up before the open, it would actually help me a little bit. All right, dollar doing its thing to hold up. That's what we want to see. We want to see the dollar holding up. And we want to see gold coming back into this range. And then somewhere in this range selling up. I want to see something like this. Back towards 2,500. Yo, Lorenzo, where are you from? I'm from the Netherlands, man. I don't live in the Netherlands, but I'm from the Netherlands. It's actually quite funny because we did the poll a couple minutes before, and at that time, before the news, we had 57% set short, set down, gold down. If you look at the poll right now, you can see it's 57% up, and it's 43% down. But before the news, when we were, actually voting, it was 57% down and 43% up. Now price is down again, right? So now people said up. They started to vote after the news. After the impulse. And now we're at... we flipped the script. We're at 57% long, or 57% up and 40% down. That's actually kind of funny. It's constantly the opposite of what actually is happening here. But, I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Open is coming. Open is coming. Netherlands, too much tax. Yes, I agree. I agree on that one. That's why, yeah. If you don't live in the Netherlands, though, you don't have to pay tax after a certain amount of time. That's the thing about the Netherlands. The good down. US tends to chase you down wherever you live, but the Netherlands doesn't. So yeah, that's the good part. But you're not allowed to live in the Netherlands without paying tax. So that's the other side. But the Dutch don't spend much on petrol. They use the bike. That's what they say. That's a nice story, but it's not the reality. At least I'm not. I'm not really a big bike fan at all. So yeah, no, that's not a true story. All right, that's a hoax. I mean, you know, you maybe use the bicycle a lot when you're a kid. But as you're growing up, I think a lot of guys are actually, simply using a car or a scooter or whatever the case may be. So yeah, okay, we're pushing up. I want to see that push up. Yeah, dollar doing its absolute best to hold here, so I like that. I like the strength of the dollar. So I'm definitely looking for bearish continuation for gold here. If you manage to push back, we have such a great potential entry there. It will be so nice. VWAP fixed very low or something like that. Bigger back in the mid range. We flip the mid range and we just continue to drive. Kind of like your manipulation and then your move. It's kind of this. So we have seen this. How many times do we see this structure on the Nasdaq? This is the inverted chart of gold. But how many times do you see this on the Nasdaq? For the guys that trade Nasdaq, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that pushback. So it's like this. It's like this. It's like this, right? And then the retest. It's then the retest continuation. The higher low. It's like your W formation. Sometimes, you know, flipping the chart can help you also a little bit. But like your W confirmation that you're looking for on the lower time frame. It's a typical, you see it on the indices a lot. In this case, we're seeing it on gold now. So yeah, I mean, the accuracy is like 70%, so it doesn't always work. But when the dollar is strong and gives you that confirmation, I think the accuracy is you know, you're gonna sit in that higher range, So yeah, man, if you can pull back, find the rejection, I'm all in for it. I'm all in for at least a try. I would love to short it and see how it goes from there. So a little bit more of an impulse up before we come down. That's what I want to see. I actually just can put a sell limit, actually, to be honest, based around that zone. 20, I need to find out here, but it's roughly around 25, if 15. It's slightly different from futures, what I realized, but it's just around this zone here. I'm looking to see if you can take that down here. I would love to see the push up and then a push down. Words only says, how long does it take to complete the funded next evaluation? It depends how long you want to take it. I'm using a swing trading approach, so I'm not in a rush. And for me, that's completely fine. So, you know what I realized? Like, there are some guys here who's trading for 1.5 years already. Or who's trading for longer than 1.5 years? Let me know in the chat. Who's trading for longer than 1.5 years? And if that's the case, have you filled any challenges before? That's what I want to know. So have you been trading for longer than 1.5 years? Have you filled any challenges before? All right. The reason why I see a lot of guys here, they take a very short-term approach because they know it's not real money. So they want to get funded as soon as possible. So they start rushing the process, rushing, over and over and over again. And then what happens? They screw themselves. Their psychology, they get, they screw themselves, right? They lose their challenge, they fail. And then they're like, okay, next time I'm going to take it easy. And they start taking it easy and then they fail again. And then again, and again, and again. And it's all because they're feeling rushed. They feel that they have to pass it right now, as soon as possible, because if you pass it in a month, then in the next month you're funded, and then the next month you make your money. So you're already thinking, a couple months ahead, like if I do this, then I can get this, then I can get my payout at this, and then you lose money, right? And then at some point, you're 1.5 years further, and you're still at the same position. So what if you just took your time? You took your time, you took it easy, and you just, slowly scale an account, all right? So either you trade on the higher time frame, that can help tremendously with passing challenges, much more, because it's kind of a set and forget approach. So it's always like, man, I could have been funded this way, and because you want to rush it, then after 1.5 years, you're still in the same position. Whereas if you just scale slowly and steadily, then it might take a little bit longer, but voila, you have what you want. So gold has been coming down without creating any pullback. I mean, this is just this is nothing. This is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see at least a little bit more of a pullback during the open before we could start looking at shorts from there. I couldn't see setup in that manner. So my sell limit is sitting there and it's not activated. So if we push up, voila, fantastic. I think on the 15 minute we can still create a lower high, but then we still have to start pushing up very, very soon. Amma says, I don't think it will come up and give an entry. If you look at a candlestick chart on the lower time frame, you can say, I don't think it will come up or will. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Around the NFP, anything is possible, my friend. Anything is possible. We also talked about the dollar yen. I think the dollar yen is going, and exactly what we're looking at. There we go. I like that. I like that reaction. I like that reaction. Very nice. I think that's a one-to-one in a nutshell already. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, no, not yet. What percentage points can I keep it for the next? It depends what you want. You can get up to 95%. But the standard, I believe, is 80. 80%. Market movie says no volume in dollar yen today, brother. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. That doesn't really matter. If it's today or tomorrow or the next day or the day after. You get in, you hold, and you wait. That's all that matters. You get in, you hold, and you wait. Hello, so what do you think of the next news? What are you talking about specifically? The FOMC member speaking. I don't think that that's gonna be really a big deal here, to be really honest. Yeah, we're currently thinking at the Sunday Open right now at the moment. Yes, we are at the Sunday Open, so we might be bouncing from here. Definitely recommend to look at this level as well. Sony says, I want to grow my live funded account and use the profit to buy a funded challenge. What do you think? I think that's the best way to do it. 100%, man. If you can make some G's, if you can make some money on your small account, and it's not about the money, it's about the consistency. You put in as little risk as possible. Then you can look for whatever you want to look for. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Lorenzo, the other 50-minute candle doesn't have an upper wick. It might be pullback. Then I place a sell 25.15, 25.18. That's exactly what we're looking at, man. We are on the same page, my friend. That's exactly what I want to see as well. A pullback into the 25.15, 25.18 and sell up from there. Yeah. Exactly. That's what we're looking for. So yeah, we took the ride up yesterday and down. I think after as well. We took it up and down. Yeah, then here we just started to build. So no trade for me. And then this was all speculation, manipulation. And I think now finally we have an opportunity potentially for me where I would say, okay, this is kind of what I'm interested in. And if this is the bottom and we continue to drive, yeah, man, that's the NFP in a nutshell. Then it is what it is here. But this overall structure looks very good. The dollar looks very strong. So that's what I like. The combination of the dollar being strong, this pattern, this break, the re-break, and a retest. God, Marcus Lorenzo, I just lost my grandmother's life savings. Can I send you a Bitcoin address for a refund? Yeah, sure, man. Send it. Okay, we're pushing a little bit. I want to see that push. Sam says the pullback you want may not come today. Yeah, man. At the moment, you know, you see red candles like, oh, it's never gonna come back. And then what happens? Price comes back. So it's always like, you know, I'm never just gonna base it on my intuition anymore, based upon what I see on the candle at the moment, because you know it could easily drive. I just really focus on the structure and what I think might be interesting here. Sam says I lost my grandmother yesterday. It's making it hard for me to trade. Oh, my condolences, my friend, and I will not trade today. In general. Come on, push us, give us that squeeze. Don't turn and flip here. I really want us to get towards these highs here. I really want us to get to the center of that previous range. This is the range that we were building, right? We then manipulated both sides. And now I wanted to see that pullback into the range, at least the VIX very low. It's that range right there. Because that's just where the best trades come from. The best entries come from. The best risk to rewards come from. Why is it so difficult to be consistent on gold? Because a lot of guys want to trade gold every single day, no matter what. And they want to look for the best. They don't care about the best setups. They care about trading. They care about entering. You can see it in the chat all the time, right? Today I'm very pleased with the chat. They're very calm, patient. We know exactly what we're waiting for. But there are periods of time when, you know, people are just like, they just want to trade because they want to trade, right? Regardless of the outcome, almost. So yeah, that's the main reason, I think. I think that a lot of guys just enter because they want to enter, and they don't want to look for the setups that they need to look for. That's my thought process behind that, potentially, the reason why. And especially in gold, because everyone is hyping each other up. Everyone is hyping each other up in every single chat, every single forum, every single Discord server. What should I do now? What about now? What about 5 minutes? What about the next 10 minutes? What should I do then? And what should I do after that? And they never stop. It's like a consistent feeling of, the next trade, man. Where's my next trade? I'm like, bro, just stop. Stop jerking off. Stop playing with your Lolo. And just sit back and relax, man. Just take it easy, bro. Just sit back and relax. Setups will come, my friend. Setups will come. They will come. And if they don't come, they will come the next day or the next day. But they will come. And in the end, it's about making money at the end of the month. That's the goal. It's not about taking as many trades as possible. It's about ending up in profits at the end of the month. What do you think of the Nasdaq? That's a good point. We have only put a sell limit on gold here. But for the Nasdaq, yeah, that's a very good point. I haven't seen the Nasdaq actually. I like how the yen is getting rejected here. I like that. But yeah, anyways, Nasdaq, yeah. Ooh, fluffy. That's very fluffy. That's very fluffy. Overall looks weak. Still weak for now. Very similar behavior. You can see that this range is clean. Very clean. And you look at the POC here. This is what we want to see on gold. This is exactly what we want to see on gold right now. We want to see this. This is what we want to see on gold. So we have the NFP. In this case, came down, came up. But we pull back into the fixed POC here and we sell off. That's what we want to see on gold. If we can get this on gold, fantastic. Yeah, no, rejection, lower low, lower high, rejection, internal sweep, and now potential continuation, question mark. Continuation to the downside. Honestly, that's exactly what I was. That's what you want to see on gold. It's the fixed POC of that range, right there. Shorting it around the POC, and then your stops. Yeah, like there or like a little bit higher, and you target the lows. You continue the next range, the 4-hour flip, and the next range, the next target. That's your Nasdaq. That's what you want to see on gold now. So we want to see the push up for gold to give us the exact same setup. Actually. Pio says, Lorenzo, my capital was $5,000. I'm minus 500 right now. How much should I risk today to recover? So you took 10% on 10% risk on that one trade? Is that what you do? Is that what you did? Let's put it this way. I mean, I don't think that's a good question. I think the question should be, if I find an amazing setup that aligns with my strategy and approach, then I'm just gonna continue. You should know the answer, my friend, before you even start. Before you even start trading with that amount of money, right? $5,000. You should know the answer. You should know the answer. Why you trade gold and not the Nas? I mean, the Nasdaq would have been perfect again. But I mean, this is a live stream thing. This is just a live stream thing. I can't focus on multiple things at the same time too much, because it's just gonna take away the focus of what we're looking at. So yeah, this is a good example, but this is also something that we're looking for now on gold as well. So we're looking for something similar here. Yeah, so that's why our sell is right in the middle, right in the center of that range. After the highs were swept, the lows were swept. Now the lower high is what I want to see. The lower high, lower low. Two trades and lost $500, risk $250 each. Okay, so risk 5%. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, take it easy, my friend. Just take it easy. And only trade what you're looking forward to. And if your strategy is like you're saying it is profitable, then you can keep risking the same thing if your win rate allows it. So maybe you have a bad day today, but an amazing week next week. I think that's the way to do it. Burger Silver says, I like your point of view regarding gold. Nice. Nice, Buck Resolver. Nice, man. Daniel Willems with the $2 chat. What's your FRVP settings? It's the 128 against 72. Or against 70, sorry. 70. Okay? The standard, the basics. You need to just put your rows as 128. And most importantly, download the ebook. The free ebook in the description. All the information is there. So yeah, I hope something similar happens with us on gold, similar to what we're seeing now on the Nasdaq. Because that's the exact same setup. It's the same setup. Rary says I lost $550 for my 3K account in 3 trading days. I'm fucked. Trade less or risk less then, my friend. Risk less. Because if you're saying like, I'm fucked, then yeah, you're not sure about your strategy. At least it doesn't sound like you're sure about your strategy. So better risk less or risk much less than you usually risk. And get some numbers. Get some numbers first. That would be nice. Lorenzo, we're flipping for the Sunday Open. Yes, we are. 25-2. It'd actually be super nice to get into that top wick here on this 4 hour, set in that top wick, and then just continue to drive. Yeah. Since this has moved this over, let's buy next week. Maybe we can buy next week, but for now, I think that when it comes down to the NFP, moves are not over yet. The move is not over yet. We tend to see a little bit of a breather, but in the next 30 minutes, you will see a lot more volume coming in. That's what I believe. Yeah, so I'm looking for sells. I'm looking for lower high, lower low continuation. And I always take it back to the center of this range. The area where the most volume has been traded in the range, as well as if you look at the VWAP right now at the moment, we are now also pulling back towards that same resistance. We expanded from it, we pull back into it, and then we'll see how we react from it. But the limit is set already. Well, let's see. Overall positive week. But we want to end the week with a banger. But we never chase price. We never chase the market. That is a recipe for disaster. Absolutely. What's going to be the stop loss for your sell limit? It depends on the reaction on the wick. I would put like a soft stop, a little bit higher, not too big. Sorry, hard stop, much wider, but practically directly I will reduce it based upon a rejection. This is where risk management comes into play, or trade management comes into play, I would better say. So yeah, we'll see. But for now, I would say 25.51. I think slightly above this range right here, 25.50, which is then around 25.20. 25.20. Yeah. Good day, Lorenzo. On the flip side, how are things in Bali over the weekends? Also, do you guys do some barbecues? Yes, sir. Barbecues, my friend, are... It's not something that we always do indeed, but we sometimes organize a barbecue with some friends for sure. It's the best. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But most of the things that I go to a beach club or something like that. And I just chill in the beach club with an audiobook or something like that. Listen to some audiobooks and then of course sparring. Sparring. Every Saturday I'm sparring. We're sparring. So after sparring, beach club. No drinking, just coconuts, audiobooks, chilling a bit. That will be like my relaxation day, like where I don't do much. Yeah, when I don't do much at all. Still nice though. Come on, boy. Come on. Why have you come down? We just want to get into our trade. Did you get the residency permit on Bali? Yeah. I mean, residency permit, I just have a visa, right? That's it. I can stay here for a couple years at a time. That's it. Can stay here for a couple years. Can open a business. Can buy a real estate. Can buy a driver's license, an Indonesian driver's license. Shout out to Indonesia for giving me their driver's license. Beautiful. I can use it in Europe. So when I'm driving in Europe, I can say, yeah, sorry, but I only have an Indonesian driver's license. But he says the manipulation of Bitcoin is crazy. Is it really? Is it really? Is it really? Beautiful short, by the way, right? 64,735. Beautiful. On the higher time, of course. Now, indeed, yeah, indeed. It's similar to, yeah, okay, this is just the NFP. So NFP came out here. Manipulate the highs and now it's taking out the lows. Yeah, so Bitcoin is just the same. The same as the Nasdaq, the same as gold right now at the moment, right? They're following up with each other. So clearly, on the lower time frame, you know, these pullbacks are going to be very interesting also for Bitcoin. The only difference is that, yeah, he might be pulling back slightly further for Bitcoin as well. And then sell off again. I'm just not bullish on Bitcoin now at the moment. I think we're going to see lower prices. I was also already kind of hesitant with Bitcoin longs. Is English your first language? No, English is my second language. Yes. Lorenzo, would it be a confirmation for the downtrend continuation if the next 1 hour closes below the Sunday open? You would say so, right? You have this potential chance of a closure below. And if the hourly candle closes below, indeed. Yeah, now we have officially closed below the Sunday open. Yeah, I agree, but there is also a chance we close above it. And we hold above it. If we hold above it, yeah, I just think that the best setups will happen there. I really believe that the best setups just require patience, and that is there. But yeah, if you do close below, then it's gonna take a long time for price to pull back, and it doesn't necessarily happen. You know, has to happen today or whatever. But it could easily be that right before the hourly, we just start pulling back with the hourly candle. Flip bullish, pull back, create a stronger or bigger top wick on the 4 hour, at least on futures, and then make a decision after that. But yeah, I think there's potential that we still push. So yeah, I'm gonna sit this trade out for sure. I'm gonna hold this trade, or at least hold this limit for now. Thanks for the great stream, Lorenzo. Good night, homie. Popsy! Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Hey, Lorenzo, you are verified now? Yeah. Yeah. The big G's. Whatever. Yeah, let's see if we can get back. Who thinks we might pull back? Who thinks we're just gonna completely tank? Completely tank. If I look at the dollar now at the moment, I see that the dollar is indeed starting to pull back here after tapping into this next area of resistance. But what I see as well in the dollar is that beautiful internal structure that we have been creating, a beautiful closure above here. So I also expect to find support here as well. So if you pull back, then I want to see gold just, of course, you know, also giving us that opportunity of pulling back as well. So yeah, that's why. Chances of a small buys from the Sunday Open. Yeah, I would love to also get in buys for the Sunday Open, but I just see that there's just weakness. There is just weakness. The 50-minute looks, yeah, the 50-minute looks better. I mean, the 50-minute is showing that we're kind of holding here, right? There's definitely support getting formed right now. What happens on the highs here? Let's see. We're tapping into the 50% at our entry. So we're kind of anticipating a 50% retracement. A 50% retracement for our entry. Nathan says we need to giveaways once the silver play button arrives. We have a giveaway every week. So regardless of the play button or not, the silver play button, you will. We have a giveaway every week. So every Thursday is a giveaway day. All right. You would say every Friday, but I think the Thursday is a beautiful day. Thursday is just a beautiful day. I like Thursdays. I like every day, by the way. I like the Mondays as well. I like the Tuesdays. I like the Tuesdays and the Mondays more than the Saturdays and the Sundays. To be really honest with you. How long did it take to become profitable trader? Years, months, years. Number one, years, and then secondary. I'm never content. I'm never content. I never stop innovating. I never stop innovating, and I'm very deep going into the swing, the fundamental approach as well right now currently, because I feel that I just, I want to improve. I want to become much better in understanding and utilizing the fundamentals in my trading as well. So I'm still improving, and I never feel content with who I am currently today. So for me, there's always room for improvement. And I think that should be the mindset in trading. There is not an end game in trading. There is no end game. There is a constant new, constant data sets that you can learn to integrate and apply in your trading, right? Now, when it comes down to the higher time frame, of course, I'm also working on much more higher time frame potential, setup scenarios. We just talked about the dollar yen long, right? Swing trade. And the main reason is because we're also setting ourselves up for success in the long term. And then at some point you realize also that you don't want to be trading 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day every day. You might want to do it now to learn the skill, to become profitable, to start getting familiar, right? To get a lot of feedback. But in the long term, you don't want to be sitting behind your computer all day. So in order to create my exit plan, let's say, right, I also want to make sure that I, focus on something on the side of what I'm doing right now, also on the side, which is of course a swing trading approach. And with the swing trading approach, fundamentals come into play much more, giving me a much higher accuracy. So, once we're setting ourselves up for success in trading, you later want to set yourself up for a good life and not just being a zombie behind your computer all day long, right? So time becomes also a valuable asset over time as well. So yeah. But yeah, man, wow. We think, oh, this is gonna go, man. We're gonna get to our entry. I just want to see the dollar pushing back towards this level. I want to see a higher low for the dollar internally. So if you look on the lower time frame, I just want to see a higher low on the dollar from like a dollar standpoint. And with that higher low in mind, I want to see a lower high for gold. Lower high for gold. The minister says only traders like Mondays more than Saturdays. That's a fact. That's true. That's true. It is true, but also I realized it's good to take a break, and it's also great to do some back testing if you know what you're looking for. If you know what you're looking for, yeah. And the reality of back testing can hurt. I'm just saying, the reality of back testing can be painful because it's a psychological layer as well. That's why not many people backtest, because it's painful sometimes when in reality your approach doesn't work as well. So you tend to just neglect the backtesting part because you've tried it and it's like it doesn't really give you the same results. So you're just gonna focus on the charts real time and real time only. Mark says, I feel like really hard to predict what the market is going to do tomorrow. Easier to predict micro movements, pullbacks against resistance, and so make it more difficult to swing. Yeah, that's where fundamentals come into play as well. I mean, so on the lower time frame, there are guys that are scalping, right? On the 1 minute time frame, they probably have a very simple, effective approach. But you need to be really, really on top of your game then, right? When it comes down to the 15 minute, 30 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 5 minute, maybe. Let's say 15 as an average. You usually tend to look for certain patterns in the market. So tend to look for certain patterns that tend to repeat itself at certain times in the market. And then what we do is use the volume profile to determine entries. And that's kind of like the lower medium time frame, the lower time frame actually, but you know, not the lower time frame, the 50-minute. They have the intraday, right? The intraday is like the 4 hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour, 8 hour, whatever the case may be. I already think that that's starting to lean more towards swinging. And I think from that moment, I think at least from the 4 hour onwards, I think that fundamentals start to become and play a more important factor. So we talked about what these 4 fundamentals were, like the CT data, the commitment of traders, report that comes out, the forecasting, the seasonality, all that stuff. Yo, happy Friday, Lorenzo. How to decide which point of interest is there to use when there is multiple POI within a small range? The point of control is usually my my bread and butter. The point of control, the fixed POC. If the levels are very closely related, the POC is usually what I look for. Yeah. We're holding up. We're still holding up. So that's good. I would argue that the 4 hours is considered swing. It depends on where your entries are. And if you enter in the middle of a range, then maybe. But if you enter at a swing high or a low point of a trend, then of course the 4 hour becomes more swing orientated. So yeah, it depends indeed. You're right. You are right. Where's your TP? So if gold indeed gets us in our trade and we do get rejected and come down towards the lows, yeah, then I will be looking at the 2500 number one again, the same old level, but the same thing counts for the previous lows, the previous range lows as well here. The previous range lows back, taking out 2493 is what I wanted to look at. I wanted to see if we can take out 2493 and get towards the 2491. Let's see what the Nasdaq has been doing. The Nasdaq would have been flawless. Flawless. That's the prime example of what we want to see on gold now. This consolidation here, okay, right? That expansion to the upside, back towards the previous range, to sell off and continue the moment. So take out the internals, unlike the lower time frame, to come up and push us down here. Right? Same thing for gold. I want to see something very similar. I'm going to take out these internals, push up to the previous range and continue to sell up from there. It's actually the same pattern. Nasdaq has been doing it already. Will you trade gold or GC? That's the same. Gold and GC, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. Ryan says, hello, Lorenzo, how do you backtest things like trading partials? So because I only backtest fundamentals and I don't backtest technicals, so I backtest fundamentals with technicals, I can better say. I'm not really worried about the perfect entry. I'm also not really worried about, do I break even here or make profit or partial, or do I take partial profits? No, I'm more thinking about the direction. So I test the direction. Does the direction add up to what I'm looking for? That's what I'm personally interested in. So what's the direction telling me? Did it indeed went up or did it indeed came down? And then I know when this happens, okay, after so many times I know, okay, this is the amount of times we went up and this is the amount of times we went down specifically. Dollar is pushing back, we're getting there, and gold is not moving at all. So gold is just weak, very weak. Nasdaq is perfectly weak, perfect. You see how powerful the POC is, right? When you form a range, you come down, you start building the liquidity here. The NFP comes out right there. It manipulates the highs, pulls back into the previous range, takes out all the internals and sells off from there. That's an A+ potential scenario here. And on gold right now, we kind of have a delayed response. We kind of did the opposite. Only difference is that this still counts as a, internal beautiful break where you swipe the highs, you take out the lows, you start consolidating, and then what tends to happen, you re-break, you pull back into the previous range, you do the same thing. So, yeah. So far it's holding. It's holding, and we might be holding here.
Thomas A. Edison, the inventor of the phonograph, has never before permitted his voice to be recorded.
Lorenzo, gold is not always holding. It's not always correlating with the dollar. Not always, but currently it is. Currently it is. Unless on the, you could say on the lower time frame maybe. But on the 50-minute, if you look here, you can see that we're still at a minus 0.9% overall. So based upon the last 15-minute closures, the last 20 15-minute candle closures, we are at an extreme. We are at an extreme. You might be right if you put in the last 10, it might not be as strong at the moment here. Well, it still says the same things. The last 10 50-minute candle is still minus 0.093. So it's, wait for the closures and see. Mr. Smith said, come on, new lows. I don't want to see new lows, man. I want to see a new lower high. That's what I want to see. Lorenzo, how much did you make this week? On this account? Yeah, around, on this one, 4.3. 4.3 and then 7, so 5. Carlos is amazing. Trade catch on the US 30 from the previous daily POC. Another win in the trading floor. Amazing. Shout out to my guys. Very proud of the guys here in the trading floor. Yeah, they took the US 30 short. Beautiful, beautiful trade. From the previous daily POC. Clean as fuck. Beautiful. Very proud of them. Yeah, so we are still trading every day, of course, in our group. Our the guys are still here crushing it. We are now closed though with our private group, so we don't provide any access right now at the moment. It looks like we're tanking. It looks like we're just gonna tank. I'm gonna sit out the next 50 minutes because we're breaking below the Sunday open. Just a week, not a single pullback, not a single chance of pulling back into the range after that rejection. Not like the Nasdaq did. The Nasdaq did it perfect. The Nasdaq did exactly that. It's a great example. But yeah, it was obvious that we're looking at sells here and not buys. That's for sure. So I'm gonna sit out this 50 minutes. Sunday open is still holding up, right? Sunday open is still holding up very strong. So Herman, to answer your question about where is the TP, Sunday open is holding up very, very well. It's a very strong level, and there's no surprise that it is a strong level. If you look at the weekly cycle in general, we have seen that it was a typical, it's a typical weekly cycle. In a range, typical weekly cycle. Monday was bearish. We set to the top wick. Tuesday, we came back to the Sunday open and we sold off. That was very nice. A sell from the Sunday open. Wednesday, we set in the bottom of the week. We manipulated the Tuesday lows still. We set in the bottom of the week. Take out the previous daily lows. Then we immediately recover. Right? So London pushes down and New York recovers. Then Thursday is then the day where we break back above the Sunday open. So that's the trade we took. And then we also utilized this range to trade the pullback as well. So we took that trade as well here. Now we're back at the Sunday open again. That's a very interesting outcome for Friday. Right, taking out Thursday highs. And not the previous weekly highs if I'm correct. Actually we did. We took out the previous weekly highs. And we are now breaking lows, coming back to the opening price this week again. So typical cycle here where we came down, set in the low on a Wednesday, reverse push break on a Thursday, reversal day, and then on a Friday, news day. And now we're heading in towards now we're exactly where we came from, right? The opening price of the week at 25.02. So, either I am going to be patient to look for a lower high, and now I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like your average. We would never trade on, we would never trade these type of patterns, but these patterns are there for a reason. It's kind of your head and shoulders, right? Kind of your head and shoulder formation that you're kind of forming here, what you're kind of looking for. So it's kind of your head and shoulders, but it's definitely not the way we like to trade. We like to trade a little bit differently. We like to look at this range, the swipe of the highs, the break of the low, setting in the new structure, then utilizing the lower high to wait for an entry and to enter a position. So It could happen now. It could happen in 30 minutes. It could suddenly push up strong. We're still holding that support. It can also be longer. But that lower high is gonna come at some point. US30 and Nasdaq is wilding. Yeah, it's a fantastic setup. Fantastic setup. These things also want to make me trade more Nasdaq sometimes, man. If you look at this on stream, makes me want to focus more on the Nasdaq. But we don't want to confuse guys too much. Sounds like catches trade Lorenzo Nasdaq. Thank you for LTA. Nice. Cox says hard to trade stocks and indices when they are manipulated, even worse than gold. Do you think they are worse than gold? I don't think so. I don't think it's worse than gold at all. I think indices are not definitely worse than gold. I mean, there is definitely a lot of shit going on there as well. Don't get me wrong. That's for sure. But gold is you probably have not traded enough gold to know how gold can move sometimes. Any thoughts about the upcoming red folder? Yeah, well, I don't have high expectations for it. Isn't that an EM4 on a 15 minute? It's more like an EM1 if you look at it this way. If you're looking at gold right now, it's more like an EM1 on the 1 hour, I think, even. No, the 30 minute. Yeah, it's more like your buy signal right there. Yeah. But what we're looking for is I'm looking a little bit at the bigger structure overall, right? I remain bearish for now on gold. I want to see this push, an expansion, and then it also depends on your bias, obviously, right now, right? What is your bias? What is your current bias? And yeah, I was waiting for this move to happen for a long period of time. So yeah. Let's see if then this is the moment for us to make to do something around here. That would be good. A nice strong 1 hour candle, looking extremely strong, right? Let's see if this will be a trap. We're taking all the highs, beautiful. I hope to see the same thing as the Nasdaq did today. That's it. The same move as the Nasdaq. It's not because of that, but it's just the pattern itself that we see usually happening on the 50-minute. Around the NFP as well. And if this is, if this is gonna, stop us out, man, then it's just a typical news play because of the fact that you manipulate the lows, you manipulate the highs, you manipulate the lows, and you manipulate the highs. That will be nuts. That will be crazy. But come on, baby. Let's show us what you got here. No way. I was like, all right, maybe not getting tapped in here. You better tap us in. You better tap us in. If you flip here, if they flip here, no. Yeah, I thought futures was decentralized or centralized. We don't have this type of stuff. This is like Forex, man. This is like Forex. Boom, this is what? 40 pips. Oh my god, man. Just like Forex. Yeah, futures. Yeah, no spreads. No spreads. Yeah, right, G. We might still get there, but you know what I mean. That initial move. I mean, I just hit my sell limit. Okay. Yeah, we closed it. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Let's see a spot. There we go. Pushing. That initial reaction is good though, right? That initial reaction is good. We should have been tapped in. We should have been tapped in already. That wick tapped your limit. Exactly. Exactly. That would have been a sniper. We should have been tapped in it. Sniper. That should have been a sniper. Okay? Now I feel like Trump. Sammy says, I'm in at 40.8 thanks to you. Nice. Congrats. Yeah, let's see though. Because at 30-minute, all good, right? Like that initial resistance kind of expected. We have the hourly closure coming up here. If you flip bearish and you close bearish. Hallelujah, man. That's a beautiful trade. That's a beautiful beauty right there, yeah. Let me look at the limit order right here. Nah, that was obvious. Obvious. What we're talking about here. 1. Very interesting. Very interesting. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Give me 1 second, Jace. Let me get a drink real quick. This is your TP point, man. This is your TP point. Stop loss on break even. 90 pips. Stop loss on break even, 90 pips. TP point, you should be secured completely. If you took the trade right there. We should have been tapped in here. I can't believe it. On futures as well. I can kind of get it. It's one tick. Sniper though. Doesn't happen that often. Especially not on futures. Especially not on futures. So yeah. Secure yourself, G's. Secure yourself. And voila. We've been looking at it for how long? There's your trade. There is your trade. W in the chat, please. for your boy. Sitting here, helping you out. Doing his absolute best for you. To provide you with some valuable content. While your boy sacrifice himself. Especially right. You should be secured completely. And you can take profits as well around, that right now, because you're looking at the internals, right? I'm talking about this one, right? It might be that you start bouncing from here. From this zone. But yeah, that's in essence the trade. That's in essence the reaction, right? So just one more time. It's that manipulation that you reverse, you create a lower low. The US Open comes into play here. You start consolidating. You manipulate guys into buys. Right here, you start accumulating buys. You pull back into the range and you sell off. Typical. Very straightforward. Same thing with the Nasdaq. It's the same thing with the Nasdaq. We talked about that one. Very similar. Very similar. Dollar holding at that support there. You see the dollar holding there? That's what you wanted. You wanted to see the dollar pulling back and holding support here. So in my opinion, that's a sniper. That's a sniper. If you have call, but I would just trail your stop, as I would personally take profits as you set your stop on break even, and then potentially leaving a little bit of running for the potential continuation play. Yeah. So yeah, you should be completely secured. We're talking 95 pips, so you should be completely secured there. Overall, I can't complain. We just are now working with prop firms. Before we didn't. We always traded with our own money. We're now scaling up. We're working towards a 10, 15K payout. First time ever using a futures firm. It's all new to me as well, by the way. But my story was, or what was told me, is that you don't have any spreads, or you don't have any delays, so that one tick would definitely be able to tap you into the position here. And once again, we tapped into the, look at this, guys. This is important to mention. Can you tell me what level this is? All right. What is this pink line? It's the fixed value area low, and in this case, aligning with the VWAP. The VWAP as well here. Okay. Retracement, the manipulation, the accumulation during the US Open, the manipulation during the US Open here, anticipating buyers, and where are these buyers going to put their stop losses? Below. So obviously you want to target the lows, because this is where the buyers that stepped in here anticipating buys are going to put their stop loss. So these guys are stressing out while you guys are chilling and having fun. That's the reality right now. But break even is a necessity, and taking profits is a necessity. Not looking for new entries. Wow. News. Wow. I hope you guys do profits there. I really hope so. I hope you're not greedy. I mean, that's just profits. I hope so too. I hope so too. Wow. Wow. Right? What's up says, first day here with you, took all profits right at the bottom. Wow. That's a good mindset, my friend. Good mindset. Not too greedy. Happy when you're happy with the profits. At least partials for sure. That's for sure the case. Nah, I cancel my limit because, yeah, the move happened. We're talking a 95 pip move. The move happened. Yeah, that's such a crazy day. Such a crazy day. What about the Nasdaq pushing? Yeah, a little bit up as well here. Dollar. Okay, dollar now indeed starting to come down here. NFP baby. NFP baby. NFP. Well, however, this was really nice. I hope you guys took that sell limit with me. We were waiting for that for like an hour or 2 hours, an hour and a half. And yeah, this might get rejected here, but beforehand when we started to look for that continuation. Yeah, that was very nice. But yeah, that's the game. That's the gold game here on the NFP day. No surprise. Never be too greedy. That's also a beautiful lesson here. And yeah. You see how good and strong these levels are holding in general. Turning out to become very, very volatile right now at the moment. You can say, yeah, but it can still play out now. Yeah, true. But the initial move happened already. So anything again, tapping into that same entry again, trying to still get in, is too forced in my opinion. It's too forced. So that first trade was perfect. Fantastic stuff though. Okay, that's it, G's. That's it for me. That's it for me. You saw what happened here. Limit order. On the dot. A lot of you guys did join. I'm happy about that one. But that was the move. That was the move that I was looking for. Is that move up, down, push up. And you can see, you can wait for an hour and a half. And sometimes the move happens in like 10, 15 minutes. That's it. 10, 15 minutes, done. That's it. That's the move. That's how the game works sometimes. Yeah. Crazy. No giveaway today, right? Every Thursday. I see it in the chat. No giveaway today, every Thursday here. Overall, I have to say, guys, I'm still happy with this week. It's a beautiful week here. New funded accounts here. Let's just grow it. Let's get our payouts done. For me, personally, it's a major deal. It has to do with credibility, transparency, all that stuff here, right? Broker statements and stuff from your regular trading is fine, but there is no end to it. Passing a challenge, getting payouts, it's a great tool. It's a great inspiration. I think it's something that you can utilize as well if you're new to the game. Instead of using your own money, right? Try to just leverage somebody else's money if you have the opportunity or chance to do so. Okay? If you don't have the necessary capital also, right? So that's why these firms come in very handy. So follow it next. If you want to join us live and you want to do a follow-away challenge and follow up with us, file in your limitless 8, type that in when you pass your challenge, or sorry, buy your challenge, and then you get a discount, a nice discount from your boy. Okay, a nice discount from your boy right there. Still rejection mode, can still roll over, could be, but this was the move. This was the initial move here. That was the move that we were looking at, right? 97 pips. If it would continue, fine. But trying to get in after that is just forced. It's just a forced trade again. So no need to be forcing setups. That one was a perfect limit order. Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, guys, I wish you guys all a fantastic weekend. You can see that sometimes you wait an hour and the move happens in a couple minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 minutes and it's done. That's trading in a nutshell for you. Okay. Looking forward to see you next week again. I really enjoyed it though, regardless. We had a good week, and manage your trade accordingly, and hope you took profits there, and that's it. I'm gonna be back again next week, and I'm gonna continue to drive up the swing trading as well, talking about how much I'm working behind the scenes on the swing trading, because I'm working a lot on swing trading in the back end here. It's my priority actually, is to come up with something very, very crucial for the people that are interested in that as well. So I'm looking forward to share this later on my YouTube channel. Okay. I just want to wish you a great day, a great weekend. Don't be over trading too much now. Wait for the weekend. Do some back testing, put in some work, come back next week fresh, and enjoy life a little bit. Okay. We're going to be back soon. And I'm looking forward to host you, as always, once again, on our channel. Thank you so much. And take care, just. Have a fantastic weekend. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Thank you very much. Good luck in your trading endeavors. All right? Fantastic. Bye-bye.
My soul got the same on my necklace, bitch.